Hey everybody. Today I want to talk a little bit about getting a second opinion on things. So, as you know, I talked about having some blood work done and my doctor being like, yeah, your lipids are a little high, your cholesterol's a little high, but otherwise no big deal. And he didn't really give me any suggestions or anything on, you know, how to make it better. He was just like, we'll check you in a year and we'll see where you're at. Um, and that's probably fine. But what I did want to do is I get regular acupuncture, and my acupuncturist knows how to read all these tests and has access to performing these types of tests. So he asked, I told him I was getting blood work done, and he asked, if it's okay with you, could I take a look at it when you have it done? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I showed it to him, and he went through and basically, there was some things that in it that the doctor didn't even mention, because things that were like in normal range but not optimal, like my vitamin D levels were low, and the doctor didn't even mention that. But my acupuncturist was like, yeah, let's up your vitamin D, and if you want, you can take a liposomal vitamin D that, is better absorbed and, get more sunlight. And he also, when it came to my cholesterol numbers, he's like, let's take you, put you on a different type of diet. He wants me on like a low carb, higher protein, higher fat diet. Because, for cholesterol reasons, and I think I mentioned this in the last one. So dietary cholesterol does not affect cholesterol numbers, your blood cholesterol. It's sugar. So blood sugar tells the liver to release cholesterol, and that's where your blood cholesterol numbers come from. It's not the cholesterol that you eat necessarily. So he wants me on that, and which I'm kind of working on. That's actually been the hardest thing so far. And then he also wants me on like a red rice yeast supplement for a little while, and this is just to like kind of see how things go. And he also was a little bit disappointed that the doctor did not order like a full thyroid panel. He only looked at one number, and I think that's like the main thyroid hormone, and and that number was less than optimal, which not really bad, but not where it necessarily should be. And my acupuncturist was like, let's at a certain point, I'd like to get, because it's hard to tell like what your thyroid is doing with just one number. So he was like, at a certain point, I'd like you to get like the full panel and see if that maybe has, some dysfunction, and we can work on that. So basically, like, what we're going to do is I'm changing my diet a little bit. I'm going to go on this supplement. I'm increasing my vitamin D intake to, I was at just 2,000 IUs, which is actually more than I usually take, but I was at 2,000 IUs, and he wanted me to take like 10,000 for a couple of days and then go down to 5,000. So I'm just doing the 5,000. And the other thing that we talked about like briefly is zinc, because I mentioned, I take zinc, but I take it in the morning, and I did read that tea can interfere with it. And he actually looked it up, and he was like, it's the tannins in tea that interfere with the uptake of zinc. It like binds to it and like flushes it out of your system as opposed to absorbing it. So I have to take my zinc, because that was another thing that it showed a that I didn't have enough of is zinc. And I've been taking zinc, but I've been taking it in the morning, and I drink tea in the morning. So I've switched to taking it at a different time of day, which is a little bit difficult because it's hard to remember to take it at a different time of the day, but I'm working on it, and I haven't missed the dose. So that's kind of where I'm at. And I think that it's important, I say this because, I think it's important to get a second opinion on things like this, and like I said, my other doctor, what he said was probably perfectly fine. But if you want things to be more optimal as opposed to just, okay, then, get a second opinion, go to someone who's maybe a more functional practitioner that will work with you to, optimize what's going on, as opposed to just be like, yeah, your vitamin D is 36, the range is 30 to 100, you're fine. When, it should be more around like 60 or 80 is more optimal, as opposed, because a lot of these ranges, a lot of these numbers are there to, basically it's the minimum you need to avoid issues. When, yeah, you might not be sick because you don't have enough vitamin D, but your body will function better on more. And so that's kind of where I'm at. So if I think that, if your doctor like kind of takes all these tests and you feel like there is still something off, but your doctor says everything's fine, get a second opinion. See if someone else has some different ideas and, maybe help you out a little bit. So that's where I'm at right now. And if you got something out of this, if you enjoyed it, hit the like button, share it, subscribe, and I will be back tomorrow with a new exercise video. Bye.